Good Thursday morning, everyone. Yes, the sun is out in southern Wisconsin. Calling for a little bit of rain possibility tonight, but it is a Thursday morning in Boscobel, Wisconsin. Get rolling a little later today. Had one of those little bit of migraine thing going on, but work through it, and we'll get through it. Heading into work shortly, but welcome to the Moose Minute Project. Truly appreciate you tuning in. So, this one titled, Money Shouldn't Be the Only Factor. The more and more I hear about money and shops local and things like that, and I'm part of some groups online that, because of our business, the turn signal business, we're not immune to it. We see it all the time. Oh, did turn signals on my unit for $60 or $100 or whatever it may be. And that is good. Glad you can do that. Glad you can wire your own unit, and as long as you're happy. We integrate tail lights into ours. We integrate, different things there. We do levers and all that on our end. But that's not where I'm going. This isn't business related. This is economics and how we're going to keep dealers I deal with, small shops in town. I think right now if people could order a beautician or a salon or stylist or a barber or whatever via the web and get it for $10 cheaper, they probably would. That's the frustrating part, is we are online more, ordering things nonstop. Amazon, whatever it may be, that we're saving dollars, and then you see them complain about having to return factor, and unfortunately that's why Walmart is where it is, and I despise going into Walmart. I absolutely despise it. It drives me crazy. I went to Walmart the other day locally, and they've got it all tore apart. They're moving things around, redesigning, and then, of course, with my past brain effects, whatever it may be from the stroke, it's overwhelming. I get frustrated, I get tired, and then I have to self-check out everything else, and quite honestly, it's quite hilarious. I do the self-checkout there, and whoever designed them there screwed it up big time, because you put the card on the wrong side, in my opinion. But that's just me. What the hell do I know? I'm just a southern boy here in Wisconsin. Country boy. Don't like the big city thing. And I'd rather be in the town. Thank God we have a stoplight, I guess, or whatever it may be, or a couple of them. But everybody's saying, oh, I can get it this much cheaper online. I can get it so much cheaper online. But in the next breath, they're like, well, why don't we have stores in town? Why don't we have grocery stores in town? Well, because if the grocery store in town, who is locally owned and operated by somebody from the community that will give back to somebody in the community, you won't go there because their bananas are 3 cents cheaper per pound, or cereal is 50 cents cheaper a box, or whatever it may be. So for that luxury, you will order online, you'll drive in, pick it up, because you hate going there to Walmart or wherever it may be, your big box store, and you'll pick it up and not frequent that local grocery store because you're going to say how expensive it is. Now, I get it. There's quite a bit of difference in stores, but don't complain about it. You either have to live with it or help change it. Now, if somebody brought a local grocery store in, would you support it? You would, probably, for a little bit, maybe. But after a while, you're going to get frustrated with it. We're blessed in Richland County or in Richland Center period, to have a great locker. And that place is packed all the time. Craig does a phenomenal job there. His staff does a great job there. And we've got many stores uptown, Kelly's Coffee, TKO Barbecue. We've got the bowling alley. Where else can you go to beat up on Walmart to get anything else you need? Well, you have to go out of town usually in order to do that. Boscobel's got a Piggly Wiggly. Muscaday's got a Brander's. And those kind of stores, yes, they're a little bit more money. But I will go shop those stores before I go to a Walmart. Because at Piggly Wiggly, you get treated by a staff member that runs a cash register. You don't have to check out on your own. Yeah, you can go. It's quite weird. And they have people that bag your groceries. I know, it's a weird concept. That's why I like going to Viking. Because back in the day, that's what I did. I worked for Paul Beck's Super Value in Aiken for 3 years, I think. Something like that. Had a great boss there. Bagged groceries, made great friends. I've got friends that are still today through that job. Bagged groceries and stocked shelves, and yeah, we learned how to make sure bags were square and pack your meat separately. I know it's a weird concept, and people these days aren't taught those things at grocery stores because they don't have to be. They don't have to do those things because, generally they're not taught those because they're dealing with bagging their own stuff. But we had perfectly square bags, and I prefer to bag my own groceries still to this day. I just do. I like to know where everything is and sort it out on the conveyor belt, kind of, and then it ends up all congobulated anyway. But money shouldn't be that deciding factor. It can be a factor. Don't get me wrong. It can be a factor. But if you're only basing all your decision on money, you are sadly going away from different places. I look at the power sports world these days. People are driving 4 hours, 5 hours for a difference in who knows how much money. But when you start getting people that go from 40-minute circles, I don't believe it's money only. If you're in the hometown, if you're hometown and you have a store there that sells cars or power sports or whatever it may be, and they're driving an hour or less to get the exact same product, it's not always about money. It's about delivery. It's about personality, knowledge, and process. And if you are a salesperson in this world currently, and you are sent to trainings, what's your viewpoint on those trainings? I've been doing this for 20 years, and I don't need to go, or I won't learn anything, that is where things are going sideways. You can blame it on the money, and you can blame it on people dumping prices. And I knew once the inventory levels would get back up, that this would happen. Inventory levels at a lot of dealerships are still on a climb, on a rise, and nobody knows how to handle it except with the dollar. So they'll give up $300, they'll give up $400 versus trying to sell and talk people into why to buy from you. People should be comfortable. I believe I was told once that if you can't sell to your friends and family, you are not going to sell to enemies. I believe I was told that once. Pretty wise guy. I think he's over in Madison area now, I think. So if you can't sell them kind of people, you're in trouble. And you need to take that process seriously. I tried to teach it for years, and I had way too many people in the business say, hey, Chris, I've done this too long. I'm not doing this. I'm not following it. And then complain about why people aren't buying from them. You're not building relationships. You're not building those, referral is a big name of the game. If you can't, here's a test right now. And I don't care if you own a plumbing business or a hunting business, whatever kind of business. If you can't reach into your pocket, and here's my wallet, and do this, this is where the big problem comes. Because if you're out and about and you hear people talking and you can't give them a card to say, hey, here's where you need to go, here's what you need to do, that's on you, and it needs to be changed. That is a big part of it. Referral business. Asking for referrals. Hey, you know anybody in line that needs their yard cut, needs their go along a place sometime. If you're driving and you see an overgrown place that's, there's a guy on YouTube right now that goes and does things for free. I wonder how many jobs he gets from just doing that one free one. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but is it worth it in the long run? And I think you might say yes, it is. Jacob and I have done a few free installs on units that we needed to do plans for. But that's where we get extra business from then, is people are like, hey, look at this good kit. This is a solid kit. So depending on what your business is, are you just starting out a food truck? Are you just starting out anything? Is there a promotion you can do in a town to get things rolling? So whether it's buy 2 tacos, get 1 free, buy a hot dog, get French fries free, I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas that you have to think outside the box. And in order to do that, do you own a, pheasant farm or whatever, or a preserve where you can get involved in a golf outing and just give away a package to say, hey, 4 guys, come out and hunt. It doesn't have to be 10 birds. Maybe it's just 5 birds, whatever it might be. Or it's fishing trip, or, things like that. Word of mouth is going to be by far your number one seller versus putting it online and trying to compete with the other upteen billion people online. Yes, online does us great, but we also have to do video, and we have to have locals as well supporting us. So that's where the Moose Minute is today. Should not be your only factor is money. You should be able to walk into a place, feel very welcome. Blood pressure, if you're going to buy a vehicle or a power sports product or anything like that, your blood pressure should not go up because of that experience. You should know that you're being taken care of. And if you're not, and you're not comfortable, shop around until you find, and every dealership has multiple people working there. Maybe the one you're dealing with isn't the right one. And you just say, hey, can I deal with someone else? And you go talk to the manager, you tell them what you like. The sales manager then should be able to line you up with someone that will get along with you. And if you're the salesperson that all of a sudden sees that, you need to figure out, A, what went wrong. Maybe you guys just weren't cohesive. Who knows? But that's where I'm at today. It was a lot on my mind this morning. Like I said, I had a migraine, a hell of a one yesterday, and it's the first one I've had in a long time. I don't get them very often. I used to go through what they called suicide headaches for a while, but got through it. Actually did a bunch of yard work after it, just kind of pushed through it and got things done. And that's my peace of mind right there, is if I can get out in the yard and do different things. But if you're working in a job right now and you are managing people, or you're in the public eye, take a look and see. If you're wondering why you're losing business to other places. Take a look and see, and it might be you, might be your personal own thing. Might be just that, if you're an electrician, I don't see a lot of people posting these kind of things. If you're an electrician or a plumber, put some pictures online of some of your work. Badgerland Flooring, prime example. Jamie Gander, buddy of mine. Badgerland Flooring puts on a lot of their pictures of their jobs that they've done. Start doing that. Start doing if you're an electrician, Mark Miller still comes to mind every time, because both houses I've had Mark Miller involved in, and the late Rich Pica was another one. Their work was phenomenal. Their work is precise, very detailed. I pay a little extra money for things like that. Klingeman Plumbing, I pay a little extra money for them because they are very solid. And there are so many on that market. Morris's. The Morris boys are just a phenomenal bunch of guys. So I know a lot of people in the business, and I love dealing with them. Jones Chevrolet, I don't know how many more how many vehicles I've bought from them. Sitting in one right now, the Jones Chevrolet Silverado Studios, might as well be it. But make sure that you're comfortable with who you're dealing with, and I think the money factor may come away, but also how you present yourself. Don't be the dickhead. Don't be that guy. Go into these with an open mind and back and forth talk, but if you're a real dickhead and you're not, and I'm sorry to be blunt, but it's true. I dealt with people for 20 plus years. The guy that's a real dickhead, I like to deal with just because I was going to win. I wanted to win. That was the only deal there. And I most of the time did. But don't be that person. Don't be the asshole group to, try to prove your point that you're the man or whatever you are. Go into these open-minded and try to be on both ends. The guy on the other side of the table is just trying to make a living. Yes, there are crooked ones out there, but everybody locally that I've dealt with, not at all. They're honest people. They're trying to just make a living. So, and the internet, I don't trust the internet anyway. So full of scammers and everything else. I want to put my hand on the product. So that's where I'm at. Don't let money be the only factor. So appreciate everybody listening. I hope this one people will watch and take to heart a little bit too. And they're all posted on my YouTube channel. So the Moose Minute Project, as you know, is in honor of my mom, who has late stage Alzheimer's. More step backwards. Unfortunately, there's no true light at the end of the tunnel except that I get to see her, get to give her a kiss on the forehead when I see her, a big hug. And then with me coming on to 12 days, I'll be 7 years post-stroke. And that'll wake you up in a hurry. Those kind of things and the other medical stuff I have done will all make your life perspective a little bit different. But don't let money be the only factor. Take into account for the other things as well. And again, bless somebody if you can. And I'm not saying financially. Again, money doesn't have to be the only thing there. If you see somebody struggling, help them out. If you can, walk beside them until they catch up. So have a great day, everyone. And we'll be back tomorrow morning with another Moose Minute Project.